2 years later, on February 1917, he went to Rome with Jean Cocteau to join the Diaghilev and the Ballet Russe. Serge Diaghilev commissioned Picasso to design the costumes and sets for his controversial ballet, Parade. The ballet was a one-act scenario by Jean Cocteau, choreographed by Leonid Massine, and the music was by Erik Satie. The ballet was premiered that same year on May the 18th at the Théâtre du Châtelet in Paris. These are 3 of his designs for the ballet, and this is the large backdrop. While in Rome, Picasso met Olga Koklova, a Russian-born ballerina and the daughter of an Ukrainian Tsarist military officer. She became his first wife. In this photograph, we see both of them in front of a poster of the ballet. By this time, things have changed for the Spanish painter, and therefore his paintings also changed. From the languid and badly fed Picasso in the brothels of Barcelona and Paris, we have now a married man, a respected and highly rated fine artist. He is 36, and his fame is considerable. He has almost abandoned Cubism, returning to figuration, but with a new way of looking and making the images more than ever his own. Italy, no doubt, had a big effect in his career. There, he admired the Sistine Chapel, Raphael, and the artists of the High Renaissance. He later visited Herculaneum and Pompeii. He did not only look at ancient art and the Italians. In this picture of his wife Olga, done the same year, we can see the influence of Ingres, the French neoclassical painter. Yet, coming from Cubism, he borrowed from Ingres the same way he had borrowed from the African sculptures, translating them to his own language. In this little piece of 2 lovers called La Siesta, dating from spring 1919, and done with pencil, watercolor and tempera, Picasso seems to be telling us that he is happy. We can feel the heat of a hot summer afternoon, as well as the exhaustion from passion previous to sleep. The intensity of the yellows and ochres reminds us of Van Gogh, yet the drawing brings back again a mix of the Greek and Iberian sculptures. But the sensuality and eroticism are totally Picasso's. Observe the disproportion in the hands and legs, and the movement in circle. This movement allows us to walk in and out of the 2 bodies, comfortably sleeping on the haystack. Another example is this still life where form is strong, which inevitably brings Cézanne to mind. A vase that looks as if it was pregnant, and 4 apples appearing as pregnant as the jar. From his return from Italy, and until soon after the birth of his first son Paolo 4 years later, Picasso lived the life of a married man. His paintings are full of light and very different from the previous years. He felt confident, and he changed from one style to another without being bothered about gallery requirements, fashions or trends. He simply painted what he wanted. My choice of painting related to Olga is this one, now the property of the Tate Modern in London. It is called The 3 Dancers and is a large oil on canvas, 215 by 142 centimeters. While he was doing this painting, his painter friend Ramon Pichot died. He was married to Germaine, the lady that sparkled Casagema's suicide 25 years earlier. Pichot was also a painter. The image in the screen is one of his works. Once again, death came close to Picasso. First taking Pichot, and then Erik Satie, his musician friend, who passed away soon after the painting was finished. The music you are listening to in the background is by him. And the drawing in the screen is the French musician drawn by Picasso 5 years earlier. Pablo is quoted as saying that the painting should be called The Death of Pichot. The tall black figure behind the dancer on the right is believed to be the presence of Pichot. Again, there is much speculation as to who the figures are. Some critics believe that Germain and Casagemas are also present. Some others include Olga, his wife. What is certain is the strong sense of anger and rage in this picture, hence my choice of it. The bourgeois life of Paris and the craving of his Russian wife for higher status in the social elite of the city frustrated and bored him. Picasso was missing the Bateau Lavoie and the Laundrette ladies. His only son was becoming a very spoiled child, and Olga was continually aggravated and in hysterics because of her jealousy caused by the flirts of her husband with other women. Things were not going well between them. He was now 44 years old, a fully mature, established and successful painter. Perhaps the 5 strong damoiselles from 1907 were turning against him. Picasso said later in his life that to him women were either goddesses or doormats. One could think that the woman of his life only existed carved in marble or in 2 dimensions on the canvas. In this painting, the tension is evident. If we look at these drawings done at the same time of the siesta, the woman Picasso paints during the summer is no doubt a goddess. He draws her as solid as a cathedral, legs apart, with the immensity of the Mediterranean Sea behind. She is majestic and sensual. 2 identical round vessels lie on the sand, and we could almost draw a phallus following the inertia of the drawing. Few months later it is winter, and he draws 3 ballerinas, equally powerful. They are indoors and dancing gracefully only for him. By comparison, the 3 dancers 5 years later are very different women. The composition is very complex. Picasso has been painting for many years since the Damoiselles, and has much dexterity playing with pictorial space. He combines the movement implied by the dancing step of the legs with the fixed hands. The central figure, because of her position, could represent a crucifix. Her right leg, ending in a phallic foot, rests on the floor, while her hands are trapped, one against the forehead of the African mask representing Pichot or death, and the other against the top edge of the glass pane of the balcony door, as well as touching the hand of the second woman on the left of the picture. The central figure is relatively straightforward compared to the other female image. Is she a doormat? Her teeth are showing and her eyes are wide open. It seems as if she is shouting. Her body is contorted and her head is touching the edge of the rectangle. The circle that defines her waist and right arm contains the iron railings of the balcony, and it is blue, the same color of the glass panes and of course of the sky and the sea. The small red striped circle could be read as a nipple that crowns the massive blue breasts. The woman has 4 breasts. A fleshy pinky shape with a serrated edge is pointing to her genitals, while a drop of blue, loaded with an iron railing, is falling onto her skirt. Meanwhile, the mysterious figure on the right is pulling her towards him. He is wearing a white glove, and on top of it either a bracelet or a watch. Again, a strong shape defines his chest, but although it also contains the iron railings, is not blue, but red. The interior is unmistakably from a Mediterranean country, an apartment in Paris or in Barcelona. Perhaps the strong design of the wallpaper, painted in different colors and falling apart from the walls, could represent the economical hardship he endured during the days that Casagemas was with him. A triangle of dancing figures composed of a crucified woman, a second one contorted and in convulsions screaming, and death, discreet and silent, dancing with them as well. This is no philosophical brothel, but day-to-day domestics. His aristocratic Russian wife was not prepared to tolerate the eccentricities of her Andalusian husband. She had brought him sophistication and the possibility to intermingle with the refined circles of Paris. She did not like the Bohemian side of Picasso, let alone his infidelities. The death of Pichot brought back memories of Casagemas in Bateau-Lavoie. He paints Olga the dancer performing a ghastly ritual, a grotesque dance of farewell, maybe a forewarning of their impending separation.